Hello, welcome to another video where I'm going to showcase some battles from João Victor, who got to 3700 ELO. It's not the first time he is up top on the leaderboards. A really good battler from Brazil. He got to, let's see, this ELO right here, and he sent some of these battles. He went on a really good couple sets these past couple days, and he's gonna showcase his team here for us. Now, these last 2 weeks of the Go Battle League aren't really great. There's Open Master League level 50 and Element Cup, so basically either a very inaccessible league that I do think is fun, or a league where you have to use Pokemon you kind of don't want to invest in, right? 500 CP Pokemons, not my thing to do at least. And then the last week is also Master League. But this is the team he used, which is Kyogre, a very switch or alignment dependent Pokemon in my opinion. It's trash against dragons unless you get like shields down and an energy advantage to blizzard things. Dialga, King of Master League, don't need further elaboration on that. And URSALUNA, I know some Dutchmen pronounce it URSALUNA, it's URSALUNA, and it doesn't have the Shadow Claw that a lot of people wanted. It has Tackle. It's Stab Tackle, so I have no idea how this performed. I'm still sort of holding on to mine. I have a really good Shadow one that I kind of want to build, but I'm just holding on for a little bit. Let's just take a look at how his battles went. I got about 13 battles from him here. Let's take a look. We got Kyogre into Kyogre the Mirror. Now, João Victor doesn't have Thunder here, so the Mirror is slightly worse for him, and he also really cannot swap out. Because he has that URSALUNA in the back, which is a normal ground type and is not great against Kyogre. So I'm thinking he's probably going to chip this down a little bit. With Kyogre always, just on João Victor's team, comes a Dialga. And the opponent actually brings in a Primarina. Now, if you see a Primarina or a Sylveon, it's very likely that there's two of those Charmers. Kyogre Double Charm is a thing. I think it's a bad team because it doesn't really have good Dialga on. So like Dialga can win this actually in the zeros and the ones if you have Thunder. Well, João Victor doesn't have that here, but regardless. See what he's going to do here. Let's this Dialga go. He would have survived Side Shock, but not Moonblast. Kyogre also wins zeros and ones against Primarina if you have Thunder. But he doesn't have any of those. Primarina is, in my opinion, the best Charmer in Master League, simply because of that typing that allows it to be stronger against Kyogre as well. In comes that Thunder Punch from URSALUNA here that will take it out, and he has another one stored for the Kyogre that just came in, but I wouldn't have KO'd it, and I think João Victor tried to catch a serve here. Unsuccessfully, unfortunately, but I think he's still fine. That energy on URSALUNA is so good. There's very little things that resist both electric, albeit a pretty weak electric move, and ground. Now, high horsepower, the new move actually is a really strong move. This serve is gonna take out this Kyogre, and I'm expecting another Charm here. Either Sylveon or Togekiss, likely, or even Zacian. But it is Togekiss, it is the Flyer that will take super effective damage from that Thunder Punch, and it should be a very comfortable win here for João Victor. If you face something like Double Dragon with or Dragon and Dark in the back, then Double Charm is effective. But I think even against like a Dialga, it's very iffy because you'll have to use shields, right? And if you run out of those, well, then you're kind of ditch. Anyway, well played there from João Victor. Let's take a look at the next battle. A really good lead. Is this Savage Boy? He really loves Mamoswine. The opponent swaps into Mewtwo here. Now, what is the plan? Dialga is pretty decent here, but I think it's too late now to swap into that Dialga because this Mewtwo might have Focus Blast, and then the matchup is not that great. Looks like João Victor stays in a little bit, probably getting the shoot first and then swapping in. The Waterfall's already chunked so much of this Mewtwo that's pretty fragile. Yeah, Mewtwo, like Pokemons in level 50 must have a little bit more HP, so they have more time to get to that Focus Blast here, right? But it has Ice Beam. I don't think that's the moveset you want in level 50 Master. I know normal Mewtwo does a little bit better in level 40 against like Yveltal and Lugia, but not so much in level 50. I would like Shadow Ball focus was more, but that's probably to anticipate Evoltos and stuff. Either way, now he has energy for his Iron Head against this Mammoth that will take it out if it goes unshielded, and it does go unshielded, and in the back is a Giratina. Now, we have a normal type here, we have a Draco here. Looks like Zhao Victor's going for the Iron Head, expecting it to be shielded regardless. Doesn't really matter at this point anyway, because URSALUNA is really, really, really good here. URSALUNA, incredible Pokemon, has a higher stat distribution than Dialga, just for comparison. Another great lead for Zhao Victor. Let's see what the opponent swaps in. Is the Dialga. And because this Dialga swaps into that waterfall, it takes that damage. And that allows... this actually has always been the start of Master League. When people just do one waterfall and then swap in their own Dialga. Now this allows Zhao Victor to keep switch no matter what, as long as he uses shields. The opponent, very smart, throws Draco at the very last second to get as much Dragon Breath damage in as possible. And now he might be able to incinerate down this Dialga with his Ho-Oh, and that will leave him with so much HP. Ho-Oh will probably have to expand his shield here, though, otherwise will go down. But having 100 energy, that's a Brave Bird and a little bit over half. Like, he needs one more Incinerate for 2 of them. At this point, my apologies. He times it perfectly, then throws the Brave Bird. Right, 1 Incinerate for 2 waterfalls, then goes into that Zacian. Now, Zacian is something Zhao Victor is not exactly weak to with this team, because URSALUNA is pretty good here, despite Close Combat being super effective. This is just because the stab tackle is just pretty good against Zacian. Look at that HP going down here. He does shoot up the first move. I think there's many ways to play this out. I think you can also farm everything down with Kyogre after 2 close combats. Either way, at this point, you can also farm down this Zacian and get some Thunder Punches into that Ho-Oh. The Ho-Oh still has quite some work to do here. I'm guessing you're gonna try to get the 2 Thunder Punches here as Zhao Victor. And if the Ho-Oh throws, it will get Waterfall down. So the opponent's kind of checkmate at this point. Even though he made it so close despite having a pretty tough matchup. But yeah, that is like that method of playing is as old as Master League itself. Throwing one Shadow Claw or Waterfall with your Giratina or Kyogre, and then swapping in your own Dialga to ensure switch advantage, that's just so old. That's been around for forever. Anyway, bad leader for Zhao Victor. Let's see how he's going to play this out. He's staying in with his Kyogre. Now, this is one thing I don't like about this team. Dialga is a problem, because your URSALUNA didn't get Shadow Claw trainer, so it's not great against this. Even with Shadow Claw would have been iffy with 2 shields. But looks like he's chipping this Dialga, getting it low, so the tackles and the Thunder Punch might actually take it out later. And the opponent making a really good play here by doing some Dragon Breaths to get it into close combat range, and then swapping into the Zacian. Zacian can take an Iron Head, but after close combat, you might get farmed down. And especially now, after throwing close combat first, this will take it out. So it has to get shielded if the opponent wants switch advantage. Now, do keep in mind that Dialga didn't throw a move yet, so it has a lot of energy. This is looking very bad for Zhao Victor, I'd say, at this point, because he might get Draco that one of his Pokemons at some point. He probably needs a Giratina or something in the back. Zhao Victor hard swaps into Kyogre just straight away, getting some energy here. I kind of like this, because this forces Dialga to throw. It has to throw Thunder or Draco here to take it out, and it does throw that. Now you can farm this Dialga down, actually. Preferably with your own, I think, because it might get to a Draco. Even double debuff will do a lot on URSALUNA. Oh boy, and he comes with an Iron Head. So if Zacian comes in at this point, Dialga wins CMP, and this might take it out, because the Waterfall's already chunked, the Dragon Breath's chunked. Yeah, that takes out the Zacian here. It goes down. In comes Giratina, and oh my goodness, Zhao Victor played this perfectly. Opponent tried his best, had good alignment. But despite a bad lead, I don't know how it got to this. From getting hard counted to absolute obliteration. Alright, looks like he's playing against my friend Dedenis here. And again has a very tough lead. But he has 2 answers to this. The problem with this, though, with Giratina usually comes like Zacian and Extra Drill. Well, here's one of them. It might still be a Zacian in the back. It could be a Melmetal. Melmetal probably would be pretty good for URSALUNA, because it has to throw superpowers the whole time. In comes that Draco, and the Denny's throws right after. I'm assuming you undercharge this a little bit to get some more energy. Yeah, it looks like the Denny's undercharge is pretty big. So this Extra Drill comes out with a lot of energy here to throw into that Kyogre. Kyogre can take two drill runs if the Denny's will get to that. but it doesn't KO. It can hold on, right? It does about 35%. So you come out with a Surf probably on Kyogre. Good thing Giratina is somewhat useless against URSALUNA. Let's see. He doesn't even come out with a Surf. He farms up to the Surf, then swaps out. I like the play because now you might be able to stall the clock so long that you're able to use a Surf later here and preserve the URSALUNA. It looks like he's going to shield that first move. I would think the Danny's go straight close combat here because then the tackles would add up way too high, way too much. I would think double high horsepower is the play here, but maybe he's trying to preserve energy for that Giratina later. It does get no shielded. A high horsepower would do about 50% here. And it's 60 energy, so it's cheaper than 3 Thunder Punches. I think double high horsepower would have been better here. But at this point, João Victor has energy preserved, right? He's almost at a Thunder Punch. The timer is going up, and I think the Danny's timer barely wasn't because he swapped just slightly quicker than the Danny's did. And this Surf will take out the Station. Now this Giratina has to take out a full URSALUNA. If it has Dragon Pulse, I'm not sure if 2 will take it out from here. It might actually. It is bulky, the URSALUNA, but the Denny's gives up. Probably didn't have it. Now, if you're a very high elo, you might also stay too long in queue and face rank 1 to 5 players, which kind of damages your elo. Now, this is not going to be the most exciting battle, but it's just for showcasing how difficult it can be to maintain your elo position. Because players on top of the leaderboard, they stay so long in queue. I currently tank to around the 2500s, and I know my queues. It will take about max a minute before I have a battle. These players sometimes wait about 30 minutes for a battle. Now that's horrible. That's horrible. I cannot deal with that. Imagine I'm working from 8 to 5, and then I have to do my sets with 30 minutes between each battle, and then I probably play the same people over and over, so you know each other team, which kind of takes the excitement away already. But yeah. It looks like he's just going to play this out. I would recommend just requeuing every 5 minutes or so if you are high elo and staying there. Bite Gyarados comes back in. I'm actually surprised how high these Pokemons are for a rank 1 player. But yeah, Thunder Punch coming in, that will take it out. And this Tyranitar isn't going to do much either. The player's not giving up just yet, trying to beat this Legend player at rank 1. Probably not happening. URSALUNA is pretty good. Just for a measurement, the thing I hate the most about it, there's not even a reward to be a high elo, right? That's what I hate the most. Dragonite lead pretty bad. Usually extra drill in the back with this. Look, and since the opponent brought in a Metagross, I'm not sure if they have an answer. And I like this bait a lot because I think the opponent doesn't know what to do with this, and he has to swap out. He has to swap out because he probably has double steal in the back. And Kyogre will destroy that. Meteor Mash coming in. This doesn't even knock out URSALUNA. It's really bulky, and her high horsepower really messes up my words. Also, it gets shielded by this Metagross, so opponent going 2 shields down to preserve that switch advantage. This might just be the play, but let's see what João Victor does, because I think it is an extra drill on the back, and Dialga has very little play against that, even with like shield advantage. It's a pretty rough matchup. Especially if Extra Drill swaps fast enough that it can get to 2 Durons before Dialga gets to 1 Draco. But that needs to be a really quick swap, which kind of is possible in a 1-turn move. But Kyogre comes out with a Blizzard here. João Victor not throwing his move just yet. The opponent tries to catch the Blizzard on Extra Drill. I think even if he succeeded, that will probably almost take it out already, and then it's over regardless. So now this Kyogre is still alive. We'll get to a Blizzard on this Dragonite, and that will take it out for sure, because that's double super effective from a very strong Pokemon here. Here it comes. Bam! And it gets screenshotted. Yo, let's go. Share it with your friends. Kyogre into Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo often comes with Dialga and Zacian. There's also variants with Mewtwo Double Dragon, which is very iffy against Dialga leads, but so is João Victor's line against Dialga leads, so let's see how he plays out. That Side Strike hurts. In level 50, Master Kyogre wins 2 shields actually against Mewtwo, so it's not the worst. But the opponent catches his move on Dialga, and I guess this is sort of where João Victor wants it, but that Mewtwo has energy, and that's pretty scary. He needs something like a Giratina in the back. And we've seen that matchup before. It's not great for Giratina. Actually, it's horrible for Giratina. It's the worst for Giratina. But Zhao Victor farms down this this Dialga and comes out with a ton of energy. Now, if the opponent comes in with Mewtwo, it's probably a Dragon in the back. This Mewtwo that comes back in, Zhao Victor throws his Iron Head here. This is likely to get shielded because it does so much damage, about 40% of that Mewtwo, and with Dragon Breath that would take it out. More like 45. Iron Head, not the strongest move, but Dialga is a strong Pokemon, and it stabs, so it does quite some damage. Look at those Dragon Breaths adding up. Mewtwo's almost down, probably at 2 moves at this point. Mewtwo with energy is always good. It's probably going to take out that Kyogre as well. Now, I think Zhao Victor probably no-shields this. He also has 1 turn lag, so that Waterfall doesn't even land. Right, I love 1 turn lag at the start, which is great. And in the back is a Zekrom. Now, I would say with shields up, this matchup is iffy. But with shields down, oh, you get to your high horsepower here, that's for sure. I think maybe with Outrage you come closer to taking it out, because I think that URSALUNA might be a little less bulky than like a Groudon, and I know Outrage barely does take Groudon out with Dragon Breath. Maybe it doesn't URSALUNA, but we won't find out. It has Crunch, and URSALUNA takes this game. URSALUNA is at its best when shields are down. Tokus lead. This is pretty good for Kyogre, for Zhao Victor. In comes a Garchomp with Dragon Tail, I believe that is. Dragon Tails really add up. Zhao Victor does have the Dialga for this. It looks like he is going to swap that in. Now, you don't want to get hit by an Earth Power here. And 2 Sand Tombs, if the first one gets shielded, are actually gonna be the second one actually gonna add up, especially with the Dragon Tails. Look at the chunking. Garchomp is actually, if not aligned to Charmer, a really strong and flexible Pokemon. In comes Iron Head. Does the opponent shield this? He does shield that to get this move off. Is this an Earth Power? It charges slowly. And it is Dragon Tail with double ground moves. Very good shield from Zhao Victor. Has shields down against URSALUNA, is at its best. And we'll get to this Iron Head here on the Tokus that will get it so low. Now, if this is something like Tokus Double Dragon, this is very much over probably, because URSALUNA beats most dragons with shields down. And the opponent goes for the Ancient Power here. And this is not very frightening for Kyogre, especially if it's a Giratina in the back or something. Kyogre might now get to a... it doesn't get to a Blizzard. Actually, that's an Altered. That's an Altered. Now, Altered is a little bit different. And for some reason, Zhao Victor stopped tapping there for a second. See if that affects the battle in any way. This is an Altered Giratina, a matchup we've not seen before just yet. A bulkier variant, but with a lower attack, and Dragon Claw is not the strongest move. It is cheap, but not that strong. But they are adding up. The Shadow Claws are not. In comes the first high horsepower. This probably does about 35, I think. Oh, it doesn't do much. I can tell you that. And the next one probably won't take it out either. It's a strong move, but Giratina Altered is really bulky, right? So is URSALUNA, so this matchup really takes a while. As you can see, the switch already is up. That's how long this is taking. I think Zhao Victor is one of a serve. Yeah, and at this point it is in serve range. So yeah, all Zhao Victor needs here, I think, is a Thunder Punch with some tackles or serve. Looks like he's trying to switch. Switch not working. I do know that switching doesn't work when your fast move is currently going through to do damage. But I'm not sure how that works with 1-turn moves, because that's not been consistent there. So maybe that's the case there. You might find something sometimes that your switch doesn't work. That's because your damage went through when they did that charge move, and it's still registering. Another bad lead here. Zhao Victor swaps into Giratina. We already seen this story. There's always something like a Zacian and Steel or Double Fairy in the back. And I think Zhao Victor is waiting for this Zacian to throw first. He doesn't shoot the first move. I kind of like that, because you survive a close combat at this point. Yeah, but I don't think this Iron Head takes it out either. I think if this goes no shielded, Zhao Victor can flip this though, and it does get no shield. Now let's see if he's going to flip this. He does throw Iron Head immediately. A Snarl goes through. The opponent did not CMP here. Does the opponent get to 2 close combats before it gets Dragon Breath down? In comes the first close combat probably, or even a Wild Charge. We've seen those crazy movesets as well. Close combat. Does it throw another one? It doesn't get to a second one. So looks like Dialga won the 1 shields against that Zacian there. But big problem, because there's double dragon left for this Kyogre. Kyogre has nowhere to go. Right, there was Giratina lead. There's now Dialga left. Dialga has to throw Draco here, and I think João Victor is expecting that. He does shoot that correctly. Almost had a Blizzard, but he doesn't throw that. He saves it for the Dialga later, and then locks in that Giratina with this URSALUNA. Now, this battle is not quite over yet. The opposing Dialga might have played it, but the opponent's top left gives up. Okay, maybe they didn't want to play it out, or they thought it was over. Good lead here for João Victor with the Landorus lead. And as you can see here, again, the waterfall lands, and then he swaps immediately into his own Dialga, because he's just slightly higher HP and can just shield all the moves to get that switch advantage. And as you can see, that was clearly not a Draco Meteor, yet he decides to shoot anyway because he just goes for switch advantage. It can be very important in Master League. The opponent will barely get to that Iron Head, and he does shoot that for switch advantage. You obviously want your Kyogre on Landorus. It's such a hot matchup. And it might be Giratina on the back. And he barely reaches the Draco. The opponent might actually let this go and sweep with whatever's in the back. Let's see what they do. They do let that go, and in the back is Giratina. João Victor swaps in his Kyogre immediately. This is useless. This is useless. If he swapped in his URSALUNA, the opponent may have top left it already, because I don't think there's many scenarios where a double ghost, triple ghost moved Giratina wins against URSALUNA. But let's see. Throws the first serve. It gets no-shooted. The opponent is smart, because they know they were. I think João Victor was one off, so they knew it wasn't a Blizzard. But this guy was actually putting this Giratina very low at this point. Even threw on alignment there, even though João Victor knows how to time his moves. He's been doing that the whole time. But I think he just wanted to get out of this matchup. He's like, crap, this match could have been over already. And he might even be able to tackle down this Giratina. That'd be pretty good BM. Shadow Ball's not adding up, really. Well, I mean, URSALUNA is at half here, and he's gonna tackle it down. You could also swap your Dialga to end it quickly, but looks like he's not going to. And that takes down this Giratina for another win for João Victor. Next battle. We've seen the story. It's always extra dualization Dialga on the back. It is this time a Melmetal. Well, it's a steal, whatever. The same. Potato. This is not the worst for Dialga after they landed their superpower. Now in level 40 monster, Melmetal can throw Rock Slide and then superpower to take out Dialga. In level 50, it can't. It has to throw 2 superpowers or like 2 Rock Slides and a superpower. After landing a Draco, after the Melmetal debuffed itself with superpower, you can actually flip this with Dialga. And it looks like João Victor is going to do that. Even though his Dragon Breaths are double debuffed, the Melmetal is also double debuffed. So it evens out. Now it's even more debuffed, and João Victor flips switch here. So now we'll have his URSALUNA on that on the Giratina. But we've seen this story already, right? A similar story. I think last battle was Zacian instead of Melmetal there. So we have 2 dragons left. Looks like João Victor saves his Kyogre there, which I'm not sure if I like a lot. You have a catch now, but if the opponent swaps out, they will still have this Dialga for the URSALUNA. And the opponent still has a shield. They swap in Giratina. This is exactly where we needed URSALUNA. This looks very, very difficult now. Now, one advantage João Victor has is that URSALUNA has a 1-turn fast move. A 1-turn fast move are perfect for catching moves. So he still has somewhat of a shot here. He has to get a lot of energy on this URSALUNA. He needs to land a high horsepower on the Dialga. He probably needs like 3 high horsepowers, or maybe even a bait. Because the opponent throws the Ominous Wind, probably to stall the clock here. Another move coming in. The opponent just wants to get out and throw that Draco, I think. In comes a Shadow Ball, actually. In comes Dialga, and he catches the Draco! Oh my god. This is exactly what he needed. He swapped immediately, really fast. Now farming up more energy. Probably needs a Thunder Punch and a high horsepower, but he's going for it. He's going for it. He's guessing. The opponent doesn't shield it. Keeps shield for it. Giratina maybe, and it lands. That's huge. Now let's see if he can take this out. I don't think 2 Shadow Balls take out this URSALUNA yet, right? High horsepower coming through. And the opponent is trying to call all the baits. Sometimes that doesn't win you the battle. It actually loses you the battle here. Great lead for João Victor here. Oh, delicious. And Again, Waterfall Lens goes in Dialga. Shield, Wind Switch, proceed. Very, very standard Master League play here. Doesn't mean it's over for the opponent though. Sometimes if you can wiggle a shield advantage for yourself, they're still playing Master League. And it looks like Zhao Victor makes a slight misplay here by not throwing his move before the opponent does. Because now he goes a little bit over 100 energy, which is impossible. And he's 2 shields down. Let's see if this gets shielded. Ho-Oh survives from full HP. You could shield one though. Like, you're 2 shields up. Why wouldn't you shield? And the opponent is going to throw a Brave Bird first, actually, before swapping. That does take it almost down to half HP. And in comes Zacian with a shield advantage. Yeah, this is not over yet. This is not over yet. Because 2 close combats will take out URSALUNA. And it only needs 1 move to take out this Kyogre as well. The first move goes unshielded. And now maybe he can like fast move everything down. There is a possibility for Zhao Victor here. The opponent goes for the first close combat. They build up more energy. Why? If they threw it immediately, maybe they would have had more help. But it looks like the opponent no shields. Going to farm this down, trying to get to 2 moves against Kyogre. Maybe that's the play. But Zhao Victor his URSALUNA is holding on here. It's still alive. And Incinerate takes so long, it might be able to get to another Thunder Punch in this Incinerate here. Does it get to that? It does get there. Beautiful. I don't know really how the opponent could have won that. There was a lot of play on both sides, I think. There was a lot of play. If you throw immediately on URSALUNA, then you're higher HP, but you have no energy for Kyogre, and the waterfalls will hit more, because the timer wasn't up yet. It was misaligned, though, because Kyogre threw a serve earlier. I think it was a play to throw them right away. I don't know. That's what I think. Was played on both sides. Either way, great battles by Zhao Victor, who got to 3,700 ELO with this. Thank you for sending these battles. I hope I enjoy this URSALUNA play, as some Dutchmen might call it. I hope you liked it as well. Thank you for watching and have a good one.